Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Fournette running right. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Here's Haskins to throw. He's got his tight end Fant. And he goes out right around the 39. 9 yards that time.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
After the sack on 1st down, Haskins. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard.
Line. It's a loss of 4 yards. Brings up 4th down.
So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And he pulled it. Oh, my goodness. It's no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
They run for the first time with Justice Hill. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 29, Jackson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's good for a Baltimore first down. First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
Jackson from the shotgun. And his throw is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
On second down now, it's Hill. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go. Double time. We got three.
Jackson now. Going right side here, and that's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 39. So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line. They'll go with Hill here on first down. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Baltimore first down. First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Check. Put it two. Check. Over. Here we go. Put it two. Check. On deck. Back.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Get ready.
Now Jackson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
43 in the mic.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Play action. Haskins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Month 56. Month 56. Stop your body.
Third down. Here's Haskins. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
With it is Brown. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Ready? 54, right? 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Squeeze, squeeze, double, double. He's crashing.
On first down, it's Haskins. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Leonard Fournette. Tackle made by Tyus Bowser. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
On the draw, this is Fournette. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Check, check 43.
To throw on third down, Haskins. Dancing to his left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by McManus is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 9-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Second down, Haskins. He's going to air one out. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Now Haskins to throw it.
Let's get off the field.
And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Now Brown. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Caught right side at Snead.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Jackson. Brought in left inside by Snead. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now it's Jackson. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 48. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. And he missed it. It's no good. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. A first half update now from Philadelphia. It's the Rams that have grabbed the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Joe Schobert leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Alert flare. Alert flare. 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 Deuce.
Throwing is Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson now, operating from the gun. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
got the lead. Yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 34.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Fournette. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Fournette. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. First down, and it's Hill again. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 45-yard line.
Check.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson steps away to his left. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 25-yard line.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
43 is the mic. 43 is the mic.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. He's got his man, it's Andrews. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Jackson looking to throw on third. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hayden Hurst, his second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have taken the lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's Jackson to throw. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Let's go, D.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. Rolling to his right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
That's good for Baltimore. First down. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Let's go now. Let's go. 81. Check your hot read.
They'll run on first down. It's Hill. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
43 is the mic. All day, baby, all day.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
43 is the mic, boy. 43. Check.
Jackson. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Kenny Young. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a 1st down. It's 4th.
Let's get it.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown. An 80-yard touchdown as the Ravens push further out in front. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Out of the shotgun, Haskins. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Strong right, strong right, strong right.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to, but when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
I'm coming after you.
To throw again. Jackson. Snead's got it. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd and 10.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here.
43. Too low. Got 43 is the mark. 43. Go. I got one. Check. Rush in.
Jackson from the shotgun. And a throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And this one is right down Broadway. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. The roughing the kicker called on fourth down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Hill. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Brings up 3rd down and 4.
The Ravens on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Jackson now. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
3 bucks.
They hand off to their big tight end. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Nick Boyle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Parkey with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. That game's gone final, by the way, down in New Orleans. And it was the Saints that wound up winners in that one. If they can hold on to that lead to the end, it would up their win total to 7. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Left side here, that's the tight end, Fant. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackle.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off right around the 43. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
And they will take a knee here.